And on the Newshour tonight from a rattled Pakistan, Brigadier Javed, Hussain, Air Vice Marshal Abid and General Rashid Qureshi, former Pakistan Army Special Forces officer, defense analyst and former spokesperson to an extremely nervous now General Parvez Musharraf. Rashneek Kher, founder member roots in Kashmir on the Indian side, Commodore Singh, KC Singh, former Secretary Ministry of External Affairs, and the man who India trusts for his strategic depth and understanding, Maroof Raza, Times Now's consulting editor, Strategic Affairs. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Now, Brigadier Javed, Hussain, it's embarrassing to see Pakistan have a nervous breakdown like this, isn't it? Brigadier Hussain. That question is to you, sir.
Yeah.
It is very embarrassing for all of us here in India to see your country have a nervous breakdown like this.
Rubbish. Absolute, pure and simple rubbish. You see, Pakistan has overreacted to the infantile statements made by your Prime Minister and one other, I think your Information Minister or Defense Minister or so.
Union Minister.
They don't understand wars. They need to be told what war is. Because if they think they can browbeat Pakistan by threatening, my simple message to the Indian Army and the Indian High Command is don't try it.
Sir, you've been saying that since yesterday.
Because if you do,
no, sir, please understand. We thought it was, sir, 1 minute, sir. Yesterday we thought you were having, a bit of a nervous fit. But when it happens over 2 consecutive days, when you pass an irresponsible resolution in your National Assembly, and when, with respect and with the greatest of respect, Parvez Musharraf loses it, and your Prime Minister goes and talks about extraneous sponsored terrorism, Rashid Qureshi, then we must ask you questions that we are now beginning to get embarrassed. We are embarrassed, believe me. We in India are beginning to get embarrassed about your nervous background. What is extraneous sponsored terrorism? Is the terrorism of Zakir Rahman Lakwi extraneous sponsored terrorism? Is the terrorism of Hafiz Saeed and the Lashkar-e-Toiba extraneous sponsored? Is the terrorism of Syed Salahuddin and the Hizbul Mujahideen extraneous sponsored terrorism? Is the terrorism, you want me to continue, sir, Rashid Qureshi, the terrorism of Haqqani network in Afghanistan on Indian and American interests extraneously sponsored? I mean, what kind of language are you using? It appears you did not even have a good stenographer while drafting the comments of your Prime Minister. Why? General Qureshi, why are you doing this?
Arnab.
And subjecting yourself to this embarrassment. 1 second. Brigadier Javed Hussain, let General Qureshi respond to me.
Arnab, when I hear you losing all balance, it just makes me laugh. And frankly,
sir, answer my question.
I don't feel like taking what you say
sir,
seriously.
Don't be personal.
Now,
it will not help.
The
answer my question.
That you face, the embarrassment that you face is because of lying for 44 years that you had nothing to do, and it was a liberation movement in Bangladesh.
You want to talk about 71.
Your Prime Minister,
so you will not answer my question, you will talk about 71.
He has finally admitted that you people were the ones who schemed, who sat back and quietly planned and attacked a sovereign country.
No, what he said, 1 minute, just a minute, I'll tell you what kind of sovereign country you are creating. 1 minute, Brigadier Javed, no, 1 second, General Qureshi, Maroof and Singh can respond to you.
Have the courage
1 minute, sir, hold on.
Character to listen once you ask a question.
Sir, don't question my...
The point is that
don't question my character or my courage. Let me give you a few facts.
45 years.
1 second, sir. Just a minute.
Your Prime Minister has finally come up, and that is why you are so embarrassed. The whole world out of which some were friends of yours,
Arnab,
thought that you had nothing to do
You can be brief.
with
You
the
can be brief.
liberation, as you call it, fight in Bangladesh.
Okay, now,
But finally
now,
you
one
have
second.
been
Can you
exposed
tell me? Can you
that
tell? I'll tell you, sir, the
Indian
kind of.
Prime Minister
Sir,
who was known as the butcher of Gujarat has finally admitted something that
Maroof,
India
let me
had
answer.
hidden.
Yeah, now have you
for
finished?
The last 45
Have you finished?
years.
Sir.
That is why you are.
Arnab,
embarrassed.
can I-
Rashid Qureshi, 1 minute. No, Maroof, before you come in, I first want to tell, I did not
Arnab.
question the intelligence or the sanity of your Prime Minister, who was talking in an insane manner today. In fact, if you look at the words of Nawaz Sharif, he has problems with the English language, but I'm not being personal with him. I'm not questioning the sanity of Nawaz Sharif or the sanity of Rahil Khurshid. I can too, but I'm not. So don't dare speak a word against the democratically elected Prime Minister of India. I will ask you though, however, sir, on 1 minute, sir. There was, I'll tell you what Yahya Khan said. Sir, I'll tell you what Yahya Khan said.
Any courage,
Sir, I'll tell you what Yahya Khan said. I'll tell you what Yahya Khan said.
You are embarrassed.
I'll tell you what Yahya Khan said. Sir,
And you are embarrassed because finally
you misfired.
the lies that
Sir,
have
you
been
misfired.
spread throughout the world by
Okay,
India
now I'll give it
has
over to
finally
Maroof.
been
No, watch it.
exposed.
Before
So
commenting
you're
on Modi's
embarrassed.
statement.
Can I answer him?
No, certainly we are now
Arnab,
getting
can I
responses
answer
from the
him?
Indian side. 1 second. First point, and the Indian panelists will now respond. Before commenting on
Arnab,
Modi's comments, Maroof, which I think are absolutely correct,
Arnab.
I think the Pakistanis should remember what their former General Ayub Khan, the former Pakistan President General Yahya Khan, in a meeting on February 22nd, 1971, was recorded as saying about the Bangladeshis: kill 3 million of them, and the rest will eat out of our hands. Can you point fingers at Narendra Modi, who spoke in support of the millions of refugees who were displaced from their lands and the several lives that were lost because your former president ordered such brutality? You wanted to carry out what even Hitler would not have dreamt to do. So please be careful about what you say about us. The history will record what you did, and those were the comments of your people. 1 second, Maroof is responding now. 1971 will hurt you
History has already
tonight.
recorded
We will put
what
out
you
the
have
truth
done.
of 1971 and you'll be hurt. Maroof.
Jan Saab,
Yeah, I want to come in.
Maroof.
Jan Saab,
After Maroof,
with
sir.
respects, Jan Saab, please allow me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, sir. What I want to say, other than what Arnab has said about General Yahya Khan's comments, even General Niazi was on record to say that he almost sanctioned rape of the Bangladeshi people by saying that if they are going to live and operate in East Pakistan, do you expect my men to go and satisfy themselves on Satluj?
Yeah.
And this was the kind of attitude that led to the complete rape and massacre of the people of Bangladesh. And you go to Dhaka, I've been there a number of times, go up the steps of the Dhaka club and there are photographs reminding every Bangladeshi of any quality that there was a complete genocide that took place. You are saying we are admitting our role in Bangladesh. Of course we got involved.
Of
Do you
course.
think the Mukti Bahini was good enough to completely rout the Pakistan army the way you faced the humiliating surrender with 94,000 people in the first time of military history
Begging
being
for
allowed to
mercy.
keep their weapons because you pleaded that if we don't have our weapons, we'll
That's a
be
lot
lynched
of-
by the Bangladeshi.
That's a lot of
Absolutely
You
right.
also
Absolutely
deny
right.
the Hamidur Rahman Commission report, which you have kept in secret until a few years ago, and you are saying, sir, let me finish. You are saying that all this was done by the Mukti and the Shanti Bahini when the Hamidur Rahman Commission report, when General Niazi, and by the way, he's from the same village as Imran Khan, who's also Niazi.
Yes.
And they are the people who were eventually given a cover and some shred of decency there. It is our decency that we let you go away with 94,000 prisoners of war without extracting mileage from you. And now you're turning around and telling us that we got it all wrong. We got involved. Yahya Khan followed Ayub Khan's military philosophy, which was that the safety of Pakistan and East Pakistan lay in West Pakistan. And therefore nothing will happen in East Pakistan because you guys thought we will only fight you in West Pakistan. But we took you by surprise. We went for Dhaka, and in 13 days, we had the most dramatic historical and geographical event with the creation of a new nation. And you're trying to tell, and this was a humanitarian intervention.
No,
and those. No precedent.
No, let me say more. Let me say more, and let the truth be known.
Intervention
Maroof,
was in Grenada in 1982.
What?
General Saab, get your history right, get your facts right.
No, 1 second.
And you are completely in a state of delusion.
No.
Please go and read. Should I also tell you about terror camps? Should I tell you what Pakistan
Go ahead, Maroof, tell them.
Camps? Let's forget the West.
I will add to that.
Sir, there's no point in smiling. Come up with a response.
And let it be said, Brigadier Javed Hussain, Brigadier Javed Hussain on the floor of your country's assembly. Whatever is left of your little tin pot democracy, let me say that it should have been said by your politicians that we are the people who had an army full of animals who are responsible for the rape of 450,000 women and the death of 3 million people in Bangladesh. Admit that tonight. Admit that tonight. The rape and the murders carried out and the killings carried out by your army. Sir, and truth be told, after that you had to surrender in public. You had to bow your head down and surrender in public. That is why you are embarrassed tonight. And let it be told, sir, you are haunted by the memories of 1971.
You should be allowed to keep your weapons.
Look,
Brigadier Hussain, this is the truth of what happened to your army.
This is the reason.
And God, it may happen again.
First instance since any time in military
this
history
is the reason
that
one doesn't want to.
Army was allowed to hold on to its weapon because they feared for their own lives. This was
and those are the
affairs
pictures.
You were in Bangladesh, and you are blaming us.
3 points. 3 points. All right, he's had his say. It's my turn now. Arnab, 3 points. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm waiting to see what you have to say. After that, Commodore G.J. Singh will come in. Yes, sir, but remember one thing, sir. You are haunted by the memory of 1971 because you lost, rightly so, half your country. You try doing it again, whatever is left you will lose too. You know that.
Don't forget 1962. We can discuss that later. Have you read?
What is the topic? Brigadier Raza,
China, not you.
Brigadier Hussain
China, not
and
you.
General Qureshi. Sir, let me come in.
Was a political failure. Our soldiers fought with exception. Sir, Brigadier Saab, let me remind you that in your Pakistan Army website,
Maroof, let him respond. Maroof, let him respond.
Maroof, let him respond. The example of the Battle of Rezangla in 1962. Sir, मेरी बात सुनिए.
Let
telling me about 62. Go into your army defense website and see the Battle of Rezangla, which is quoted by your army as the finest act of defiance against the Chinese by Major Shaitan Singh of 13 Kumaon. So don't remind me of 62. Our army fought well and they fought honorably. They did not do dishonorable things that your army did in Bangladesh. Talk as a soldier, sir. Don't talk like a politician.
Ask the brigade commander, John Parishram Talvi. He will tell you. Don't talk rubbish, Maroof. It's my turn. 3 points. First point.
I have read the Himalayan blunders, sir.
I
have read the book. It was a political catastrophe.
Discuss 71.
Responsibility lay with
Discuss. No, Maroof, let them discuss 71 today.
Tell me.
No, Maroof, let them discuss 71. Let them discuss 71. They are trying to run away from discussing 71.
Anytime. I am prepared to discuss 65 and 71. I have told you a number of times. You bring your panel. I will discuss 65 and 71.
Then tell me.
Anytime.
Thank you. Then tell me now.
Separate program.
Then tell me now.
Let me.
Tell me now. 1 second. No, 1 second, Maroof. 1 second. 1 second. Tell me now. Tell me now. Let Aybashir Abid Rao also come in. Let anyone from Pakistan come in. Tell me now. Tell me now. What wrong did Narendra Modi say? What wrong did Narendra Modi say? What wrong did Narendra Modi? What was wrong in what Narendra Modi said?
I'll tell you.
I think what Narendra Modi said is the truth, and we all back him.
You talk of Zafar Lakhvi, you talk of Hafiz Saeed. How many people were killed in Mumbai?
Answer the question about 71. There you go, running from 71 again.
How many were killed
Why are you running
How
from
many were killed
71?
in Gujarat?
Why?
3,000.
Talk about
The Prime
71.
Minister
Talk
is a
about
terrorist.
71.
He has a criminal.
Brigadier Qureshi.
One second, Commodore GJ Singh from Bangalore. Commodore GJ Singh from Bangalore. That's Commodore GJ Singh from
Brigadier
Bangalore.
Qureshi, let me tell you.
Cabinet.
Commodore GJ Singh.
The truth is always
Indian.
bitter.
You understand?
You cannot
Number two,
rewrite
hold on.
history. The whole world, when
Anytime you
the
want,
genocide
to
by
discuss the
war
wars,
army was carried out
anytime.
in
I challenge
Bangladesh,
you.
it was
You
covered
hold a
by the world
one-on-one
media.
discussion on the war.
It was covered by the print and the electronic media of that
War.
day, 71. From London Times to New York Times. The history books, the world history books are full of genocide stories what your army committed in 1971 in Bangladesh. So please don't rewrite history. You cannot rewrite history.
Read
The truth of the matter
Read
is
Sharmila
that
Bose.
your army
you the
is
book that has been
responsible
banned
for what they did
in
in
Bangladesh and India.
Bangladesh. That was
Don't go
an
by what
by the
the
Bangladesh
Indians
Muslim
of
Bahini.
Bangladesh have
Of
told
course, we got involved in it. And please
And
don't
second
forget
point,
that
by-
you just cannot rewrite history
learn
the way
some
you want.
manners.
The whole world knows
You're
it.
butting in.
What
Learn
you have done
manners.
in Bangladesh.
What I find inexplicable. No. Marshal Abid Rao now. What I find inexplicable, because he's been quiet. What I find inexplicable is that you feel that what Narendra Modi said about 1971 is a miraculous admission. No. There is no miraculous admission here, KC Singh. Why is the miraculous admission? It is an acknowledged fact that we defeated Pakistan. We forced Pakistan to surrender. And Narendra Modi says 93,000 Pakistanis were taken prisoners of war and not used as political pawns. It is the truth. I don't know factually what's incorrect about it.
90,000.
It's the truth.
It's a fallacy.
93,000.
It is a fallacy.
It's a
Let
fallacy.
me speak.
Sir, it's a fallacy.
There
Cases.
were three-
What's the fallacy?
there were three-
What's the fallacy in what
there were
Narendra Modi
three-
said? No, what's the fallacy in what Narendra Modi
I'm
said?
telling you. Let me speak. Learn some bloody manners.
Sir, that's
You
all
can't
right.
be an
Please don't get
aggressive,
personally
you don't
aggressive.
get
It doesn't work.
It will work.
You lose
works
it on.
in India.
No, it's all right. You lost a war.
understand?
Don't lose it on
You want
television.
to try it? You try. We'll call you a bloody bluff.
Sir, you were.
The fact is there were not 90,000 prisoners.
90,000, 93,000 to be precise.
Hold on. They were not.
9,000 of your men died. 93,000 did a cowardly surrender.
21.
93,000 of your
21.
cowards surrendered.
Arey yaar, ye kya?
So I'm telling you the truth.
23, 20, yeah, of course, you're the paragon of truth. There were 21 infantry battalions facing 3 Indian corps, and yet they were able to inflict prohibitive casualties on
Sir.
the 3 Indian corps.
Sir, there were. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It is
Again, you
not-
are wrong on fact.
it is not-
Maroof knows this better than me.
No.
Maroof knows this much better than me.
It is
But, sir, no, 1 second. Now, Maroof knows it better than me.
Brigadier,
There were 3,000 Indian men and 30,000 Pakistani
Let me come in with
troops.
one quick
Maroof.
point. Look up the records.
No more
Look up the
than 20.
records at your
No
National
more
Defence
than 20.
College. I'm not talking of any other
20.
institution. Your NDC study, Arnab, their NDC study, National Defence College study of Pakistan, acknowledges the 93,000 prisoners and the sterling role played by people, General Jacob
They were
and
not-
others in totally
90
checkmating
they were
Pakistan's
not
army.
soldiers.
Now, if Brigadier is going
They
to
were
deny
not-
the
they
history
were not
written by his own
soldiers.
NDC, then what can I do for him?
There were 21,000 soldiers.
Rashid Qureshi.
Rest were paramilitary and civilians.
No, 1 second. Gentlemen.
Understand?
And you don't state
21,000
facts.
regular army
Actually,
soldiers.
the number
All
of
the others
army
were civilians and
personnel or armed
paramilitary.
forces
So, anyway, I now.
Getting into figures,
Have you-
getting into figures
Have
is
you
not the
studied?
issue. The getting into figures is not the
Just
issue.
government-
The issue is a bigger one. Your army behaved dishonorably,
Make that
and
figure.
today your parliament and Sartaj Aziz
But
has
that's
the
not the-
temerity to tell us that we did everything wrong in Bangladesh, and you were the honorable guys who were bypassed and sidelined. Which world are you living in, sir?
And on top, your resolution says.
Which world are you living in?
Or you want to...
Having lied for 45
that
years,
resolution has
you finally,
missed you.
one of your
What has that-
prime ministers, a guy who's accused by the world of genocide, finally admits the truth. And that
Yes.
actually
And-
puts India on the spot.
Mr.
The whole
General
world
Qureshi.
is now looking at India as a country which is involved in
Okay, Rashneek is responding to you.
interference in its neighbors. One.
Sir, Rashneek is...
Number
no, no.
The embarrassment
Rashneek is responding to General Rashid
something
Qureshi.
that you can't bear.
Rashneek, please.
Now that's the problem.
Qureshi.
Arnab.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, a minute.
Please come up with
There were
something
never
new.
93.
Can I please have two people on air at a time?
You have
And
failed
Rashid
to
Qureshi
impress
is
me
responding to General
with
Qureshi.
anything that you have said today.
Time and again.
Jal Sahab, please come up with something new. You have failed to impress us with anything that you have said today.
Arnab, can I have a word, please?
Go ahead, Rashneek.
Sorry.
You see, General Rashid Qureshi, he uses this word embarrassment many times today. The fact of the matter is that his boss was so embarrassed because all his life he fought many wars with India and lost all of them, especially this gang of 4 war which is called the Kargil war, in which he was not just defeated but humiliated, and more humiliated because the Chinese gave away his little tape to the agencies which eventually reached India and exposed this man called Parvez Musharraf. Now I can see very clearly that Brigadier Rashid Qureshi is today definitely rattled because his boss lost pride and lost a war. Now having said that, let me take them back to 1971. My dear friends in Pakistan, please read Ashley Tellis's book, The Blood Telegram. Please read this book by Christine Fair. It's called The Pakistan's Way of the War. Please read Hussain Haqqani. Please read Ayesha Siddiqa. They all very clearly say that you did not allow the Bengalis to rule despite the fact that they won a majority, and you wanted to have a Punjabi rule over Bengalis who then decided to have a separate nation for themselves. Obviously we helped Mukti Wahini and we are very proud of liberating a people who you were killing, raping, and your army was rampaging them. So what option did a just neighbor have, because we were thousands of refugees coming into our country?
That's
to
a known
help
fact.
these people attain liberation as we will with people of Gilgit and
No,
Baltistan and
that is
some of the
Mr. Khurshid, one second. That's a known fact. That's a known fact. I now want to start reading from the statements of Nawaz Sharif. And Abid Rao, I want you to respond. Nawaz Sharif said today that the entire nation, talking of Pakistan, is dismayed by the irresponsible statements, I must say, imprudent statements of the Indian political leadership. This vitiates the atmosphere and takes away from our goals of regional peace and stability. We will protect our vital installations, inshallah, at any cost. Abid Rao, this is what Nawaz Sharif said today. Now, my question to you is, I want to know who these vital interests are. And KC Singh can come into the debate after this. Sir, tell me, was Osama bin Laden... Just one question to you and you answer.
If you go to 71, we can go back to 1527 when Babur invaded India and defeated the Indian army. We can go to any limit.
Sir, I will bring you back to 71, but I'll bring you to something more decent. Allow me to complete my question.
Let me come back
Babur
to
was
the
a foreigner.
debate that,
Just
and Babur was a foreigner.
Program.
Abid Rao.
What has happened?
Abid
Your
Rao.
Minister Rathore has made an irresponsible statement equating Myanmar with Pakistan and, a generalized message. To that, reaction is always more than action in human relationship. Pakistan will never treat that humiliation where you have the liberty of going into Myanmar, killing 50-odd people, coming out and then announcing. I'm hearing Indian channels that it was a covert operation, shouldn't have been made overt. When you
Sir, I don't know about Indian channels who talk rubbish, but I'm talking about times now. 1 second. The question here is this.
Okay,
my question was, Abid Rao.
Whatever he said yesterday is in place.
Abid Rao.
You must tell Indian people what is the cost of war if there is one between Pakistan and India.
Sure.
Don't talk of 71.
Okay, so
after 98, there is a different parity.
Okay.
And you will not give peace to this region, you will give eternal peace.
Abid Rao.
Both countries will then never have the ability
Abid
to
Rao,
fight
I
each
go
other.
back to the question and KC Singh can respond to this because he heard you there and I want him to come into the debate. The reference Nawaz Sharif made was to vital interests. My question to you, sir, and answer
Our
in
vital
brief.
interest is your
Sir,
ability to
sir,
include
sir,
into
sir,
Pakistan
1 minute.
territory at your
Abid,
will. This is not let that
Marshal
happen.
Abid Rao, wasn't Osama bin Laden, who was hiding like a thief in Abbottabad, protected by your cowardly army or vital
Don't equate
interest?
India with America. You have a wrong impression. Since 1989,
Okay.
you have been trying this hot pursuit and attacking these Mujahideen camps.
Sir,
you haven't had the guts to do that.
Sir,
Don't
were
do it now.
the-
Your core commander has
Sir,
advised your political leadership
sir,
that it is not LOC is different from Myanmar.
Sir,
Have a heart.
don't
What message are you giving
question.
to the Indian nation.
Sir, 1 second. Don't question guts, because we've shown enough guts with you more than
Arnab
once,
is right.
and
We
we'll
should
show it
not
again. The
equate
second question,
Pakistan
sir,
with
1 minute.
Myanmar, because
Sir,
Pakistan is a country in
Your
eternal mess.
political leadership does not know the cost of war now. What Pervez
Sir,
Musharraf
this-
has said absolutely fits in the situation.
Sir, this is
And
what
it
you
should
used
take
to
it
say to the
seriously.
Americans when you told them we don't know where Osama bin Laden is. Were the murderers of Benazir Bhutto your vital interests?
Bhai, your Ibrahim, Dawood Ibrahim is in Dubai. Can you dare attack Dubai?
Sir,
Please
Dawood
do
Ibrahim
that
is in
and see what
Karachi,
happens.
sir, in that Clifton address or wherever you've kept him in hiding.
I've heard you
anyway,
saying that he
now,
travels between Dubai and Karachi.
anyway.
So when you have intelligence, attack Dubai.
Sir, what is KC Singh? What is explaining this kind of an unnatural reaction from the Pakistanis, not just today, but over the last 48 hours?
When you threaten
KC Singh,
Pakistan,
please.
the reaction
Arnab.
will be...
Yeah.
Sir, KC
Out
Singh,
of-
please.
May I
KC
just come in?
Singh.
Yeah.
KC.
Arnab, I've read the resolution of the National Assembly. I see it a little differently. You see, Prime Minister had an extremely successful visit to Bangladesh. Indian Army had a successful operation along the India-Myanmar border. Now, certain people within this government, having from there taken off, have drawn Pakistan into the debate, which was completely unnecessary. We ourselves have brought Pakistan in by drawing strategic lessons from rooftops on the basis of whatever has happened, and PM's success in Bangladesh is getting diluted. What the National Assembly has done is very clever. They are now playing the victim. They are reaching out to the international community. They are trying to make a common cause with Myanmar. They are trying to rouse other Indian smaller neighbors within the SAARC and say, look, here is India, which is a big bully, is threatening us. On the one side, they say it is threatening us. On the other side, they threaten us with a nuclear war and say, you dare come and do anything to us. Now they're both threatening and being threatened. So it's a political game Pakistan is playing. It's a victimhood which they have been playing for decades now, and that is how they work with America. They are victims of terror, they are victims of India's onslaught, and we have allowed them to do it.
Okay,
It was completely unnecessary to draw Pakistan into it.
Since you make that
Now,
point.
Finally, let me just now make a final point. They keep saying nuclear. Kargil war was fought despite Pakistan having nuclear weapons. There can be an exchange short of total war. There can be an intervention by India even below the nuclear threshold. It is not necessary it straight away goes to nuclear threshold. So it's not that India wants to do it or will do it, but certainly we should not be shouting from rooftops. I think that's absolutely uncalled for. We played into Pakistan's hands.
Sure. But now that they passed the resolution, Casey, isn't it our responsibility also to go into the resolution in detail? To go into it in detail, and for example, let me pick up a certain part. Let me pick up a certain part, and my question is to Brigadier Javed Hussain. I hope you've cooled down now, sir, and Abid Rao and Rashid Qureshi. Let's go through it very logically, gentlemen. Sir, this statement says that India has interfered in the quote-unquote internal affairs of other states, which is a contravention of the UN Charter. Does it say so? Brigadier Hussain, my question to you therefore is, in December 2013, your country passed a resolution in your National Assembly condemning the execution of Jamaat leader Abdul Qadir Mullah for his known and open involvement in the war crimes of 1971. What kind of interference was that, if not in the internal affairs of Bangladesh? Can any one of the Pakistani panelists answer that question? Any one of you? Did you pass such a resolution? Why were you interfering in the internal affairs of Bangladesh? Yes, please. And that also.
Because we had to condemn that verbally. It was very unfair to hang an 80-year-old man for some crime, alleged crime of 71.
That's none of your business. That's none of your business. Anyway,
No.
question number 2. So question number two.
We did not invade
no,
Bangladesh
one second.
or punish Indian Army.
Hamid Karzai, and this question is to Rashid Qureshi. Hamid Karzai repeatedly says, I want to tell the Pakistanis, I request the Pakistanis, short of begging the Pakistanis from desisting from harming our country. Why did Hamid Karzai till his last day accuse you of interfering in the internal affairs of Afghanistan? Why did you interfere in the internal affairs of India when you passed a resolution of Afzal Guru's hanging in March 2013? You want to give us lectures today and pass a resolution on the interference in internal affairs? Anyway,
the issue.
No, I'm not
Why
changing.
are you going into the
This is your
past
resolution
and
passed
not
today,
talking
sir.
about what you have
No,
done?
this is your resolution
No,
passed today.
Hold on.
No, this is your, I'm quoting from your
By
resolution passed
diverting
today.
attention from the current problem at hand, and the problem being your Prime Minister's statement,
Yes.
your Minister's statement.
That
and
is a
what
settled
you've done
matter.
Inside.
That is a settled matter. Our Prime Minister has affirmed what is true.
Myanmar government and spokesperson says that India is lying again.
Sir,
that there was no interference. They didn't come inside Burma.
Then why are you, if that were to be the case, then why are you so nervous? What is worrying you?
No, nobody. You are the one who's nervous.
Against your
You are
verbal
the one
threat,
who's embarrassed.
we have
And
given
it's
you a verbal
unfortunate
response.
That it's
We
your
haven't
Prime
invaded your
Minister
country
who
because you haven't.
Is a constant source of
So
embarrassment.
what
for you.
exactly, you can be frank with us tonight. We are all watching you in 80 countries. Can our three Pakistani guests tell us?
you all the
Sir,
time.
can our three Pakistani guests confide in us and tell us what has bothered you so much? The fear of an Indian surgical strike or the memories of 1971 or both? Can you just share it with us? We just want to understand where you're coming from.
Don't.
Yes,
Don't.
please,
Don't
Brigadier,
talk about
you want to,
Reminding you
Brigadier,
of the memories
Let me-
of Cargill and
Let me
how
speak.
one of your
Brigadier, yeah,
commanders
I'm
was
not stopping
crying
you.
over the phone,
Let me
reporting
speak.
that they run out of wood to make coffins for their dead. You'll be embarrassed.
Rashid Qureshi,
And
I know,
by the way,
Rashid
each
Qureshi, I know
time-
that Cargill
each
hurts you
time-
because you were
each
sitting back
time
Musharraf's side while he got
Give me 1 minute, I will
try
tell you
to
what
turn it
upsets
around.
us.
Yeah, tell us what
Say that
upsets
you've
you.
done a wonderful job.
Yeah, tell us what upsets
nobody
you. I will
accepts
confide
that
in you
anymore.
today.
Yeah.
It is interference from your side.
No, one sec.
It is
One sec.
involvement
Sir,
of your country into
see-
your neighbor's internal affairs.
Rashid-
that has
Rashid
embarrassed you
Qureshi,
again.
Rashid
And
Qureshi, 1 minute.
unfortunately,
Rashid Qureshi.
either because of
Rashid
lack of information
Rashid
or
Qureshi.
lack of judgment, your Prime Minister has finally spilled the beans.
Sir, every
India
Prime
is
Minister and
embarrassed.
every Indian and
India
every
will never
political
get out of
party,
this
sir,
embarrassment.
for your kind
The
information,
whole world today
so for
knows
your kind information,
that India has been lying to the world
Sir,
for the last 44,
sir, let me
45
say,
years.
let me say
And
this.
finally, the truth has come out.
I'm
A
sorry
lot
if
of
it was a.
other
Sir, I'm
issues
sorry
that
if
you
in,
have,
if
the
in
truth
Pakistan.
will
1
come
minute,
out.
sir. 1 minute.
You
Just a
try to-
word
Let
to.
me respond to
Just
him,
a word
please.
to.
The
Just
Kashmir
a
issue.
small
You
word
do
to
not
Rashid
want to
Qureshi.
resolve the
Just a small
Kashmir
word to
issue,
Rashid
and
Qureshi.
you want to
As I hand over to GJ Singh.
and the
Rashid
What?
Qureshi,
You can't even hear what
Rashid
you're saying
Qureshi.
because you don't-
I was not aware. I was not aware till tonight that the Pakistanis had kept a
Yes.
state secret of their
Thank God
humiliating
you've
loss in
become aware
1971 because every Indian child knows stories of the cowardice of your forces in 1971, sir. If it is a state secret in your country, it's a revelation to me. Now we are getting a
Every
response
child
from Bangalore. Commodore GJ Singh, please.
Sir, I just want to ask all the
my turn.
honorable guests from Pakistan, please, let's get into reason and logic. Please pay attention to my question. It's a very simple question, but you will have to answer it. I just want to ask you that there is a resolution. Your Prime Minister, your National Assembly has passed a resolution. Fine. Your Prime Minister has also talked about prudence. Fine. I just want to ask you a simple question, that there is an international resolution of war against terrorism. The world wants to fight terrorism unitedly. Why don't you pass a resolution in that direction, on that line of thought, that we will fight unitedly? Why don't you cooperate in destroying your terrorism machinery, that network that you have built alongside the Indo-Pak border or along the LOC? What about all those terrorist organizations
why don't
which
you
are not
interrupt?
only only harming, but you're the
Interrupt him.
So my question is, why don't you support the international
Yes, Brigadier.
resolution for fighting?
Yeah, now
war
one sec.
against-
Brigadier Javed Hussain is responding. Sir, yes, Brigadier. Yes, Brigadier Hussain.
Interrupt him.
Go ahead, Brigadier.
Like to
Question
interrupt
properly.
me.
Nobody
two points.
understood what you're asking.
One. Narendra Modi's statement in Dhaka when he was addressing the Dhaka University. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
When he was addressing the Dhaka people, he blamed Pakistan. He started criticizing Pakistan. Now, K.C. Singh probably will be able to tell you this is against diplomatic norms. My second point, as a professional soldier,
I feel there is
which I still am.
there is no diplomatic norm which
Hold
says
on, yeah.
that speaking the truth is something which is incorrect. I feel it is absolutely correct. Anyway, please continue. Please continue. Don't try and drag
Let
KC
me
into this.
speak.
Yeah, continue. Speak
Let
for
me
yourself.
Speak.
Arnab,
Speak
Trouble
for
with you
yourself. Don't
is
drag KC Singh
you
into
talk
it.
too much.
So that's all right. I
Just
told you.
talk too much.
So does Zardari when he
My second
accepted that
point is,
terrorism by
as a
proxy is your
professional-
vital interest.
As a professional soldier, I feel embarrassed when I see regular army Indian troops being ambushed not only by the insurgents in the northeastern states of India, where insurgency is rampant, but also across the LOC. They come, they go across the obstacles, they raid them, ambush them, behead them. Why is the Indian army always on the receiving end?
Brigadier Javed
Don't talk
Hussain, do you
of
know what
protecting
you're doing?
Pakistan.
Thank you. You just confirmed.
people have
You're
said
confirming
Pakistan.
on national
Arnab,
television.
President
Maroof, it's
contested.
confirmed on national television. Thank you so much for telling us that your army are actually
Forget about
cowards
the
who come across by stealth.
resolutions.
The
Forget
only
about
answer,
everything
Maroof
else.
will respond to
Talk
you.
of this.
So, no, Maroof will respond to you.
Mr.
Watch it,
Goswami.
please.
Arnab.
Watch it, please, because on national television, a former very senior brigadier, a special forces officer, has made an admission that their army is sent across Maroof. He admits their army is sent across the LOC to carry out ambushes on Indian soldiers. Now, the simple answer we can have for them, we know the cowardice of the Pakistani
You are
army.
so biased
But since you
and
do not
so
have the guts to
prejudiced.
face our forces directly, I think Brigadier Javed Hussain, you would have known if you ever had your own fighting days that the more honorable road for a soldier is to face his opponent on an open field face to face, not like cowards by stealth in the manner in which the Pakistani army operates. Now Maroof will respond to you. Maroof, go ahead.
You want to discuss the...
Sir, Maroof will respond to you now. Sir, please, listen to Maroof. Listen to Maroof.
And also General Rashid Qureshi. Sir, please, let
Maroof
me
is responding
let me
to you,
make
sir.
4 or 5 quick points. I'm not going to take time.
want-
First point is Brigadier's last remark
want to discuss-
about ambushes of Indian troops in the northeast.
Brigadier, please only right
Sir,
now.
that is
Maroof
a
and
regular soldier getting caught up in an ambush. Yes, there is an element of certain military drills having gone wrong and the ambush took place, but it is better than your 9 Baluch which ended up surrendering to the tribals in Waziristan and many other units of your army which surrendered because they didn't even put up a fight. So don't give me collective examples of ambushes and the level of professionalism in our army. The second thing I want to take on General Qureshi.
tell you.
General Qureshi, you talked about the fact that we were running short of coffins for our
tell you about
soldiers.
nine-
Yes, we may have been running short of coffins, but please remember, sir, you even refused to bury your own soldiers. We ended up burying your soldiers. At least we were honorable enough to do that. You abandoned your men in Kargil, and Musharraf, of whose
So you have
spokesman you have
finally
been,
admitted-
turns around
you
and
have
says Kargil
finally
was a
admitted
victory. What kind of
after
victory was it?
such a
You
long
gained
time
ground, you lost
that you
ground.
did run
You were
out
told
of
by
room for
America
coffins
to
for your
respect
own
the
soldiers.
sanctity
That
of the
shows
LOC,
the amount
which you
of
went to
casualty
challenge.
that you
Sir, meri baat sun
That
lijiye.
shows
General
finally
Saab, please hear me out.
embarrassment and the
Please hear me
beating
out.
that
The
Indian
third
army
point I
took.
wish to bring out.
It is
Paki,
unfortunate
you are
that
yourself
it has
saying,
taken you
let's
so
not
many
go
years
so much into
to
the
admit
past.
the truth.
General Qureshi,
And
hear me
frankly,
out. You
if
are
you had
saying
done
let's
this
not go into the
earlier,
past.
maybe
And
a
then
few
it's
more of
rankling
your
you.
generals would have been
Then it's
caught
rankling you
And
that our Prime
when you
Minister
finally
brought
find
out the
that you
1971
lost
humiliation.
so many more soldiers
You want to know
than the
how much you
casualties that
interfere in
you-
our business?
you
Should I tell
say
you,
that
sir,
you caused,
General Rashid,
you will
General
be
Kidwai,
very, very
your
embarrassed.
man in charge
If
of
you
your
just-
nuclear weapons
if you just
was recently in the
count
United
the number of
States.
soldiers
General Saab, hear me
officers
out.
that died
General Kidwai
during that
recently in the
battle with
United States
Pakistan
again threatened us
forces
that Pakistan
as
has
well
tactical
as
nuclear weapons
the
which it
Mujahideen.
intends to use against
It will be
India.
an embarrassment
And one
for a
statement,
huge country
statement by
and
the
armed
MOS
forces
in
like
India,
India.
vaguely referring to Pakistan, has got you up in arms against India. You can then answer me how nervous you are of your shady past and your shady dealings with all these terror groups. You are using them as strategic assets to further an agenda because your army doesn't have the guts to confront our army. You want these jihadis to confront our army. Sir, you want Kashmir, come and try and take it. You tried to take Kargil and you got a bloody nose. You come to Kashmir, you will lose your head. So don't try and mess with us and don't make false
Abid
threats
Rao,
on us. that we
Abid
will do
Rao,
this, that and the other.
Abid Rao,
all that the minister said, all that the minister said, hear me out, sir. All that the minister said, that if you do continue to do what you do, we have the...
who
Interrupt him.
part of which I agree the
Interrupt him.
observations that he made. The rest of you are so biased and so one-sided and prejudiced. You do not want to
Okay,
acknowledge the
okay.
truth.
Pakistan
You do not have
haters.
the courage or the character to admit where you're wrong.
Sir, can you
And it is
can Abid Rao please tell us? Okay, fine. 1 second, sir.
The whole purpose of a discussion
I'll tell
is
you.
lost when we hear you
My concern is we should focus even more on 1971. I want to go to our Pakistani panelists.
Okay.
And I want to go to them along with KC Singh. I'm drawing back to the discussion. 1 minute, sir. I have a forward question.
When you tell the truth.
Maroof, I have a forward question, just a forward question for our Pakistani guests. Just 4 words. Now tell me, Marshal Abid Rao, what was Operation Searchlight? What was Operation Searchlight?
Arnab, I'll just request one thing.
So what was
You go to
Operation
71,
Searchlight?
You go to Kargil. Oh, hold on.
What was
What is
Operation
the aim of this
Searchlight,
debate?
sir?
The question is...
Sir, what
now
was
let's
Operation
take
Searchlight?
the equation
Everyone in
away.
India is watching. Tell me what was Operation Searchlight?
Waste of.
No. I will go to another question.
Sir,
Then
what was
you
Operation
must
Searchlight? Should we tell you, sir?
Educate
no idea
Indian
what Operation
nationals
Searchlight is.
We are
on
not.
the cost of war.
Dodging it, sir.
We are
You're
not
dodging
going
it.
to teach
Sir, what was Operation
The cost of
Searchlight?
war now,
fact.
you said in
Fact.
2002
Let the
also,
brigadier tell you in
Indian
case you
Army
don't
and
know
the
what was
Pakistan Army
Operation
were deployed
Searchlight,
eye to
sir.
eye.
And now I'll tell you since I
I'm
asked
not-
you so many
no.
times.
I am interested that this use of cheap threatening language is wrong
Sir,
from both sides.
Sir, don't
It must be
call the
avoided.
language used by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi
by your
cheap or
minister.
threatening.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about your defense minister.
No, and our defense
Your
minister has said everything
I am
absolutely
naive.
right. So has our INB minister. My question is,
naive.
and now I want to educate our
If you equate
viewers.
Pakistan with Bhutan and
Sir.
Myanmar
They are-
or some such countries.
I will now read out.
Of your
Sir, I will now read out a little bit.
Myanmar.
Sir, can I read out a little bit? Can
What
the three
was
Pakistan?
Operation Blue Star?
Sir, I'm talking about Operation Searchlight. I want to read out a little bit with your permission, sir.
I'm talking about
I
Operation
don't know
Blue
why.
Star.
I don't know
So
about that
Operation Blue Star was a direct
talking about Blue
military
Star.
intervention
And
to
I'm-
take on Sikh terrorists
Yeah.
who had been backed by the Pakistanis. Now I want to go to Operation Searchlight.
Exactly.
Sir, Operation Searchlight.
I don't-
And Khalis.
Sir, don't interrupt me.
Khalistan.
Sir, don't interrupt me.
Khalistan.
Killing of 50,000
Have you
Bengalis.
seen the-
Sir,
have
1
you
second.
seen
Sir,
the
killing of
Pakistani flag
Brigadier,
hoisted by the Pakistanis.
Brigadier, you need to know the illustrious background of
want
your
to?
army. I will share it with you.
talk
After
about
that, you can
war?
respond. Rapes and molestation
Rubbish.
of 450,000 Bengali women
Your
by the
army.
officers and soldiers of the Pakistan
that is wrong.
Occupation
That is
Army
wrong.
as a deliberate act of revenge, retaliation and torture. Use of thousands of Bengali women as sex
Sharmila
slaves and comfort girls in military camps and bunkers by all members of the ranks of the Pakistan Occupation Army, ethnic Hindu cleansing, forced pregnancy of Hindu women and deliberate killing of Hindu males to exterminate Bengali Hindus as a race. Let me continue, do not interrupt me, General. Killing of 50,000 Bengalis in Dhaka on 25th and 26th March 1971 under the military operation code named Operation Searchlight. And a ruthless massacre of 3 million unarmed Bengalis over 9 months of armed occupation by the Pakistani army. Pre-planned killings of intellectuals and professionals who are Bengalis, Bengali professionals like doctors, engineers, civil servants, students, social workers, burying them in mass graves over 9 months occupation to spiritually cripple the Bengalis. So these are the facts. It's not an Indian Army document. I'll send you a copy. I'll send you a copy.
Qureshi and Brigadier Javed Hussain.
And this is the truth. People of India know. Commodore GJ.
Please pay attention.
You want to discuss the wars?
Absolute lies.
This is what led to the war.
Qureshi, sir.
Conduct of
This is what led to the war.
Javed Hussain, please pay attention. Please remember
in another
that
program.
facts are stubborn things.
The conduct of
The
war.
facts will come time and again. These are the facts of your Operation Searchlight. This is what you did.
The 2 minutes to speak of something that you have no idea what you're saying. These are lies, constant lies.
What are lies?
Whether you've written them down or they are
Sir, they are
in a
facts.
book.
They are
From
facts,
where you read
and the
this,
facts are stubborn things.
2008.
They will come and
No.
time and again in the history. Even in the time to come, they will come
Let's talk
out.
of the Naxalites.
There is no
You
truth.
cannot suppress
Let's
them.
talk of the Naxalites.
You are lying
talk of the
as your
northeastern
Prime Minister
states.
was lying earlier on.
Insurgency.
It's
Why
unfortunate
are you diverting from the
terrorist of
topic?
India
Talk of the
has not
cannon
We are
been
talking
Prime
about
Minister of
71
India.
more.
It's
We are not talking
unfortunate.
about Naxalites.
Your cow.
Sir, I now want to read out
talk of
something
the
very important.
Naxalites.
Sir, I now want to read out, Air Marshal Abid Rao, I heard you there, sir.
You
There is
stay on the
nothing that
topic.
You read out that
Don't
has
digress
impressed
to
us.
Naxalites.
Sir,
and to
not the
topics.
Sir, I now want to
It is
read out
not
since you
the
said
truth. So
since
it's
you said
pointless whatever you have
General
going to read out.
General Qureshi, you said that this is some Brig revelation of Narendra Modi. I will now read out something which is very significant. It's a historical document, and I hope you just let me read it out. After that, you respond.
Historical document written by whom?
I'll just tell you. If you have the patience, in a minute, you'll know, sir. Just give me half a minute, sir.
You see, when we are faced with people like you, I don't think we need to have patience.
Okay.
Because whatever you say is cooked up stories and total lies,
Sir,
which has no basis.
As I said
what
to you,
you've just narrated,
as I said to you,
450,000 Bengalis
as I said to you,
and
General
3
Qureshi,
million
General
soldiers,
Qureshi,
it's
General
nonsense.
Qureshi, General Qureshi, General Qureshi,
And
please.
it is the same
General
nonsense
Qureshi,
that we've heard
General-
now Narendra Modi finally clarifying that yes, India did intervene.
Yes,
in
what I am about to read
Pakistan.
will settle the matter.
The whole plan was made in India.
What
And
I am
your
about to
own
read will settle the
commander-in-chief,
matter, sir.
If
You
you
are-
ask him, he will tell you how.
Sir,
well
what I'm about to read will settle the matter if you only
by
have the
way,
patience to give me
it's
half a
on-
minute,
it's
and you
on
can.
YouTube.
Sir,
And
gentlemen in
we've
Karachi
heard
and
him
Islamabad,
time and again.
Check
So
that
either you
document.
don't
It
believe
may be
your
about
own army
Kashmir.
chief,
gentlemen,
or you are just going to speak
Gentlemen in
further
Karachi
lies.
and Islamabad, will you please hear me for half a minute, sir? I'm allowing you much more time than our Indian protagonist tonight, so please allow me the courtesy of listening to me for half a minute.
Look. Let
Half
me
a minute,
say
sir, you
something
can time me.
music to your ears.
No, half a minute. Abid Rao saw his
half a
watch.
minute.
Abid Rao saw his watch. Half a minute.
You say
Half a minute, sir.
Please
Do
go
I
ahead,
get it?
please.
Okay, thank you. Here's what I'm going to read.
I'll
Here's what I start now. Count
me
by your
half a
watch.
minute.
And KC Singh will come in after this. 1 second. The Pakistan Eastern Command agrees to surrender all Pakistan armed forces in Bangladesh to Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Indian and Bangladesh forces in the Eastern Theatre. This surrender includes all Pakistan land, air, naval forces, also all Pakistan paramilitary forces and civil armed forces. These Pakistani forces will immediately lay down their arms and immediately surrender to Indian forces at the places where they are currently located to the nearest regular troops under the command of Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora. The Pakistan Eastern Command shall henceforth come under the orders of General Jagjit Singh Arora as soon as the instrument has been signed. Don't interrupt me. Disobedience of the orders shall be regarded as a breach of the surrender terms and will be dealt with in accordance with the accepted laws and usages of war. The decision of Indian General Jagjit Singh Arora will be final over the Pakistani forces should any doubt arise as to the meaning of the interpretation of the surrender terms. Sir, I have read you the text of your surrender document. I have read it to you, sir. Now what? No, this is the text. Maroof, will the Pakistanis doubt this too? This is the text.
You can
7 minutes on the debate, concede.
It has Niazi's signature.
This has Niazi's signature.
Niazi's signature.
This is the surrender.
It's on every book that has the history of the 71 war.
Which should be on every chapter of every Pakistan history student's school books.
Yes.
Your surrender document.
It is.
So it should be enshrined.
Response to you, Arnab.
So don't accuse Narendra Modi of saying anything wrong. Your surrender document has been read tonight on television.
Arnab, we must send to the Pakistanis a copy of this recent book which talks with essays from Bangladeshi officers of the level of massacre, genocide and rape and plunder that the Pakistan army conducted. It is a matter, it is, I tell you, it brings tears to your eyes to read what has been written in some of these books by now Bangladeshi retired officers. And they are now trying to tell us that all this is a figment of our imagination. Even the Hamidur Rahman Commission report is a figment of our imagination. Even the writings of eminent historians like Stephen Cohen are figments of our imagination. Sir, please get real. If Brigadier General Hussain and General Qureshi don't want to get real, let them live in voodoo land.
And my question to KC Singh at this stage is, KC, you said, KC Singh, KC Singh please, KC Singh please. Sir, KC Singh please, Brigadier, I get KC Singh into the debate. My question is to KC Singh.
So unfortunate.
No, my question is to KC Singh.
Which calls itself the largest democracy.
We have heard that refrain constantly. If they can keep quiet and listen to me. Can you please keep quiet and just listen?
General, I'm going to get the picture now.
Listening to your ranting for the last 60 minutes.
Why do you forget this?
Arnab, I think next time you invite them, to discuss 71 war, please send them copies of that book, The Blood Telegram. Mr. Blood, let me explain to your untutored Pakistani guests and our audience in India, was the US Consul General in Dhaka. The Blood Telegram was a telegram signed by the US Consul General and all his staff and sent because Richard Nixon and Kissinger needed Yahya Khan to play the go-between with China and were not willing to listen to the genocide story. The entire consulate sent a telegram signed by the entire staff, unprecedented in US diplomatic history. Just listen, let me tutor you now. Listen, learn something, General. Signed by the Consul General and his entire staff, alleging genocide and recounting the stories. It caused a big bang in the US State Department. They recalled the US Consul General and destroyed his career because that man was not willing to live with a lie, which was that US was turning a blind eye to genocide in Bangladesh, in the then East Pakistan, to just get their advantage of reaching out to China. And look at the irony of it. China, which today wants connectivity to Bangladesh, the first veto as a permanent security member that China used, the first veto, was to deny Bangladesh a membership of the UN in 1972. The same China now wants access to Bangladesh. So history is very important. Generals and brigadiers on the Pakistan side. It can't be invented. Face it. That is why time and again you are humiliated, time and again you face the music because you invent history and you don't want to face facts.
They say, I don't I don't blame any one of you. You're neither your Prime Minister nor nor his cronies.
Prime Minister,
They're all GIPs.
Prime Minister was,
I call
one
them
final
GIPs.
point, Prime Minister's last address was at Dhaka, was deliberately at Dhaka University, because that is where the genocide of the elite took place. There was a separate Hindu hostel which was completely wiped out by the Pakistani army. It's recounted in the book. The elite was killed, the professors and the top class were killed.
Sharmila Bose.
Read the book. Read the book. It's your American, it's your patron. It is your godfather, the US patron, whose consultant has written that book. I have not written it.
Read Sharmola Bose.
I have not written that book. Read that book. So you'll deny everything. Read the blood telegram. Read the blood telegram. You cannot deny what Americans have written. Your godfathers have written it.
And as far as
your
numbers
protectors and godfathers.
As far as numbers are concerned, sir, 1 minute.
Sharmila Bose.
Sir, I now have another very important historical document to share with you. I have a very important historical document to share with you. Look at your watches. This time I'll take only 20 seconds. This time I'll take only 20 seconds.
Jump from 1.1 seconds.
Sir, I will only take 20 seconds.
Manifestations.
Count me by your clock.
Manifestations.
The Hamidur Rahman report.
Of GIP.
Sir, there is this description of the surrender. Please listen. It's wonderful for you to hear how the surrender happened.
Bristling.
Hamidur Rahman report says, and I quote, there was Indian Army's General Jacob, calmly puffing his pipe, pacing up and down. And I was thinking, Niazi says, your General Niazi says, I was thinking, what will I do? And at that point of time, no, 1 second, just 1 second, it recounts, the Pakistani army had 30,000 troops in Dhaka. India only had 3,000. One Indian soldier good enough for 10 of yours. And I will send you by speed post. By speed post the picture of December 15th, 1971. So December 16, 1971. General, understand this. General, you can please frame it.
This.
At home, in your offices, and send it as gifts to others in Pakistan. It's all right, sir.
People who are suffering from inferiority complex.
Sir, the truth has been told.
Don't suffer from inferiority complex.
The truth has been told right now.
Come out of it.
The truth has been told, and Brigadier, I appreciate your sensitivities. But don't walk over ours, because then we'll come after you. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight.